whatever you want to do. Okay. Do our thing. Okay. All right. Yeah, that works.
Them spell them both, please.
Okay, perfect. Samantha Banerjee, SAMANTHA BANERJEE. I'm the Executive Director of Push for Empowered Pregnancy. We are a national stillbirth prevention nonprofit. We're a national stillbirth prevention nonprofit based here in New York.
And what are you doing here today?
We are here today to speak up for the rights of all birthing people, whether their baby lives or dies. Because stillbirth is still birth, and everyone who gives birth deserves time to heal their bodies.
What is the current law or the loophole that kind of triggered this protest today?
Yes. So, New York's current paid family leave law has. So New York's current paid family leave law is designed for you to take care of New York's current paid family leave law is designed for you to take care of someone else, not yourself. So the way it's structured is that when you have a baby, what you're actually claiming is baby bonding time as the mother or birthing person. And so if your baby dies and you no longer have a baby physically present to bond with, you all of a sudden do not meet the criteria for paid family leave anymore. And the thing that's most egregious about this is that the father or non-birthing parent actually does still qualify for paid family leave, because New York State recognizes that being postpartum is a serious medical condition. 60% of maternal deaths happen in the postpartum period. 2/3 of those take place in the first 6 weeks after birth. So this is the exact time when moms and birthing people who've had a stillbirth are looking to claim their previously approved paid family leave that they have budgeted for. And New York State is literally revoking it out of their hands at their darkest hour. This is the definition of kicking people when they're down, and it is literally putting mothers and birthing people's lives at risk.
Does it frustrate you, and why?
This process has been incredibly frustrating because anyone who hears about this is aghast. I personally probably wouldn't even have believed that this was happening because it is so egregious. But all of the families standing behind me today have personally experienced this. And so our bill was started by a mother, Cassidy Perrone, whose daughter, Olivia, was born still. What would have been her second birthday is coming up this Sunday. And when Cassidy got the call, literally after coming home from her daughter's funeral from New York State to say, you are no longer qualified for paid leave, but we're going to put you on temporary disability at literally 1/10 of the amount of money that you had been promised and that you were planning and budgeting for the last 9 months. Cassidy knew that if she didn't stand up and say something, that nobody else was going to. And so, at Push Pregnancy, we work really closely with the maternal mortality community because we are here to try to make sure more parents and babies make it home safely together. And so we know in New York State that Black moms are 3.5 more times likely to lose their life as a result of pregnancy or childbirth, 9 times more likely in New York City. Black moms, for the same reasons, are also 2 times more likely to suffer a stillbirth. And so this is disproportionately affecting our Black and brown communities. But that being said, it can literally happen to anyone. I myself had a 39-week stillbirth after a totally normal, healthy pregnancy. 80% of stillbirths are taking place in otherwise normal, healthy pregnancies where there are no known maternal risk factors at the start of the pregnancy. And so many families that this is happening to are being completely blindsided. And they simply are not getting the support from New York State that they've been promised. This is the only situation in which a parent in New York State is promised leave, and then when it comes time to actually need it, it is being stripped out of their hands. So this is extremely dangerous. I mean, these are moms who are days away from birthing and burying a child. They have postpartum bleeding. They have swollen, engorged breasts. They, and many times if they've had a C-section, that's major abdominal surgery. The American College of Obstetrics and Gynecology is very clear that no mom who gives birth, no person who gives birth is cleared to go back to work fewer than 6 weeks after the birth, regardless of the outcome. But we also know that moms who have a stillbirth are almost 5 times as likely to suffer severe, potentially life-threatening complications. And this can include things like postpartum hemorrhage, pulmonary embolism, postpartum preeclampsia, and blood pressure issues. There's so many things that can go wrong in the postpartum period. And so moms really need this time to heal. I mean, and never mind the mental and the emotional trauma that they have been through. Even just setting all of that aside, if you focus only on the physical aspect, I mean, it is cruel and unusual what is taking place right now in New York State.
What have you heard as far as support from people in the Capitol or
Yeah.
senators? Who signed on?
Okay.
At this point?
So this bill has actually passed twice in the Senate unanimously already. And last session, over 2/3 of the Assembly signed on as co-sponsors. It's bipartisan. It is a popular bill. It is common sense, common decency. However, it never was brought to a vote in the Assembly last session. And so here we are, almost a year later. Over 1,000 more families have suffered a stillbirth in New York State, and we don't know how many of them were put in this position between choosing between their physical and financial health after giving birth. And it is unfortunately an inevitability that we are going to lose a mom if this continues. And so we are asking New York State, the governor, and both houses of the legislature to utilize the tools available to them in the budget to close this loophole however they were able to do it. Because time is of the essence. There are literally mothers and birthing people's lives hanging in the balance. We are going to lose someone if we don't close this loophole now. So we're asking New York State to please do the right thing and protect our birthing people regardless of the outcome of their pregnancy.
Perfect.
Got
Thank
it?
you so much.
All right. No, thank you guys.